Great, so now we're going to move on to our next piece, written by the composer Charles Mingus. For any of you who might have seen any of the other videos from our series, Charles Mingus was a double bass player and composer who wrote a lot of music from the kind of 1940s through to the 1970s. He was born in America in 1922 during what was a really turbulent time to do with race relations, integration and segregation, all these really key topics of history. Mingus lived through them all and wrote a lot of music to represent them. And we're going to talk about one particular Charles Mingus piece which covers that.
So this piece is called Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting. It is a blues. Charles Mingus used to attend a gospel church on Wednesday nights when they had a very full of joy, ecstasy prayer meeting. Everyone would sing, everyone would shout, and individual voices would come together. Charles Mingus was all about bringing individuals together, building bridges between individuals and giving them a chance to express themselves together.
So far, the pieces you've heard us play today, and actually in all the other pieces we've covered in the video series from last year's project and the video series before, every piece we've played has had 4 beats in a bar. For those students or teachers who may have heard things like Goodbye Pork Pie Hat or Oh Lord, or even Fables of Forbes and Ecclesiastics, they've all had 4 beats in a bar. We're now going to look at Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting, another Mingus Blues, and we're going to look at some different rhythmic aspects that we can use for that. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to play the tune to it, and I want to see if any students or teachers can clap along to the recording of this and see if you can work out what time signature, so how many beats in a bar there are. Have a listen, have a little chat, see if you can feel where the strong beats of the bar are, and yeah, let's clap along to this tune and see if you can find how many beats are in a bar. So, if you said 3 or 6 beats in a bar, you are correct. This is what's known as a 6/4 blues. So there are 6 beats in a bar, kind of divided into 2 sets of 3. You might have heard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba-da-ba-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-da, ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. So 2 sets of 3 in a bar. And within those 2 sets of 3 to create 6 beats in a bar, there are loads of different rhythmic ideas that you can do to play along, to clap along, or to build your own rhythms to play over the top of it. And we're going to teach you a few of them now, but before we do that, Flavio is just going to talk a little bit about body percussion and how you can create some different sounds with your body.
So our first instrument is really our body. So of course you can sing, but you can also use your body as a percussion instrument. There are different sounds we can explore. Obviously the clap, and even there you can get different qualities of sound. You can get very loud, high pitch. You could get a softer sound as well. Now take 30 seconds and try to explore different clap sounds on your own. Here you go. Great. Now, after the obvious claps, there are other things that I love. For instance, using my shoulder as a bass sound, bass meaning low, a bit like the bass drum I have there and I always use when I play the kit. Try this, for instance. And see where you find that low pitch that gives you that dark quality. Try exploring that on your own. Good. We can obviously use our legs as well to get some nice high pitches like this. Try that. Good. Now, why don't we put all these ideas together? So here's my first example. I'm going to play it first and then you're going to copy it immediately after. Here we go. You go. Great. Why don't we add, for instance, that high pitch sound that we were using with our legs? So I'm going to start maybe with a low pitch and then use the legs a tiny bit. So listen to my example, you're going to follow it. Simple. So let's do that again. off you go, off you go. Great. Now we're going to add a little stamp there. Just another sound that we can use. Just a few ideas. Try to explore other possibilities. Have fun.
Great, so having experimented with different parts of body percussion that Flavio has shown you, from the low sounds to the higher ones here, and of course our traditional claps, we can put a few of those ideas into a solo section or a kind of groove section over the Mingus tune Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting. Now, as we've already established, Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting has 6 beats in a bar, so some of these patterns that we clap and play together are going to sound slightly different or feel slightly different to when we play with 4 beats in a bar. I'm going to start with the first pattern, then Pete's going to layer up a second one, and Dave's going to put a third one on top. If you're in your classroom or if you're watching at home, join in with each rhythm, decide which one you like. An interesting one about the first one is it might seem a bit more simple as it's just involving claps, but as we'll find out later on, as we add in different parts on top, it can seem a bit more complicated or a bit more challenging to play. If you're in an opportunity to watch the band live in a theatre show, or if the band's coming to your school, then you can pick one of these rhythms, or we can divide the room up and we can play them all together. So for the first rhythm that we're going to play, I'm going to speak a rhythm first. I'm going to say it's the bass, the jazz, bass. And in between that, I'm going to put my claps. So it's actually starts on beat 1. It's the bass, the jazz, bass. Listen out one more time and see where the 2 claps come together. It's the bass, the jazz, bass. So after the word jazz, we're going to add 2 claps. All the other words, just 1 clap. It's the bass, the jazz, bass. And so that's our first pattern that we're going to do together. I'm going to count in 6 and see if we can all do it together as a class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the bass, the jazz, bass. Great, and that's pattern number 1.
Pattern number 2 is a bit different because unlike Ed's one, we're going to be speaking and playing our bodies at the same time. So the first words we're going to say are Mingus on the double bass, Mingus on the bass. Can you say that back with me? Mingus on the double bass, Mingus on the bass. And this is how we put it on our bodies. The first one is all on our knees, and it goes Mingus on the double bass. Let's try that together. Mingus on the double bass. And then the second phrase just goes Mingus on the bass. Do that with me. Mingus on the bass. Now if we stick the 2 phrases together, I'll go first, you come in afterwards, let me set it up. It goes Mingus on the double bass, Mingus on the bass. Together it goes Mingus on the double bass, Mingus on the bass. And that is rhythm 2.
Okay, rhythm number 3, the one you're going to do with me. We're going to use, for this one, we're going to use the words Wednesday night. The name of the piece is Wednesday Night Prayer Meeting. So we're going to say Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. But it starts on the second beat. So we start with a break. So we're going to do it like this. We're going to do break, Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. Let's try that together. I'll go first. Break, Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. And then we're going to add on, we have to rest again, so we're going to say take a break at the end. So the whole thing a couple of times will go like this. Break, Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. Take a break, Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. And we keep going like that.
So now we have Flavio here to join us on drums. Flavio's going to play some 6/4 swing, so some swing feel that you might have heard in some of our other pieces, but he's going to play on brushes with 6 beats in a bar, and then we're just going to layer up our patterns one by one. If you're playing or clapping my pattern along with me and you want to just stay clapping the pattern with me, just follow my hands, clap when I clap and you can join in. If you want to join in with Pete, or if you want to join in with Dave, then jump in together. And as you're doing it, really listen for the drums, because that's what's going to be keeping us in time. So I'm going to count Flavio in 6 beats to start, and then we're going to layer our patterns up one by one. Flav, ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the bass, the jazz, bass. It's the bass, the jazz, bass. The bass.
And part 2 goes Mingus on the double bass, Mingus on the bass. Mingus on the double bass, Mingus
3. Here it comes. We start with a break. Break. Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. Say a break. Wednesday night, Wednesday night,
Last one. Great. So you can have some fun trying that yourselves. We're going to add on, or we're going to create a separate section that's just Flavio playing some 6/4 swing feel. So if you want to practice along with just Flavio, you can do that. You can slow down and speed up the video. And with all of these patterns, it's easier to start them much slower, to count the 6 slowly and to try and count it slowly. And then gradually, as you become more and more comfortable, it should be more about feel than necessarily counting all the rest yourself. So, When you get to that stage, you're not counting all of the rest individually or saying the phrase individually, but you should be able to feel the parts, and the music really swings and really flows together when all of you are feeling the music naturally together. So have some fun with that, yeah, enjoy playing those patterns on body percussion.